Hi everyone, this is Movie Tales, your fast-track pass to the best stories in cinema. Today's story, From Dusk Till Dawn. Enjoy watching. At a Texas roadside liquor store, fugitive bank robber Seth Gecko and his deranged brother Richie kill the clerk and a Texas Ranger, then destroy the building. During the shootout, Richie is wounded in the hand, a detail that will later expose exactly what the brothers walk into. As they flee down the highway, Richie nurses the injury while they stop at a motel with a hostage bank teller they are still holding. When Seth returns from picking up dinner, he discovers that Richie has raped and murdered her. That same night, Jacob Fuller, a widowed pastor struggling with his faith, arrives at the motel with his teenage children, Scott and Kate. Seth notices their motorhome, kidnaps the family, and forces them to drive toward Mexico, using them as cover for his escape. After a tense confrontation at the border, the guard finally lets them through. They head deep into the desert to an all-night strip club called the Titty Twister, where the Gecko's contact, Carlos, is scheduled to meet them at dawn and guide them to the hideout town of El Rey. The stop is no coincidence. It is an isolated place designed to lure drifters, criminals, and travelers who will never be missed. When the doorman tries to turn them away, the Geckos overpower him and enter the bar with the Fullers. Inside, the club is loud, chaotic, and packed with rough clientele, including Sex Machine, a biker who carries a pistol between his legs, and Frost, a hardened Vietnam War veteran. The bartender insists that only bikers and truckers are allowed inside, but Jacob argues that his motorhome license qualifies him as a truck driver, and the bartender reluctantly gives in. The group settles in as the club's star performer, Santanico Pandemonium, takes the stage. Her dance feels less like simple entertainment and more like a ritual, holding the entire room in a silent trance. When the performance ends, the doorman orders the group to leave. Richie suddenly lunges forward, and the bartender stabs his already wounded hand. Seth shoots the bouncer as Richie attacks the bartender, and when the doorman laughs at the chaos, the brothers gun him down as well. The sight of Richie's bleeding hand triggers a sudden shift. Santanico transforms into a monstrous vampire and leaps onto him, draining his blood. The remaining strippers reveal themselves as vampires and begin slaughtering the patrons, while the 3 dead employees rise from the floor. In the chaos, Kate kills the doorman by forcing her cross pendant down his throat. Santanico attacks Seth, but he kills her by shooting down a wooden chandelier that impales her. Sex Machine and Frost manage to destroy several more vampires using sharpened wood. When the fighting briefly subsides, the survivors realize the exits are sealed and hear a swarm of bats gathering outside. Richie rises from the dead. Seth tries to protect his brother, but Jacob insists that Richie is beyond saving. After a painful moment of hesitation, Seth drives a stake through Richie's heart. The group regathers as Frost recounts a war story, unaware that Sex Machine has been bitten. As Seth and the Fullers begin to lower their guard, Sex Machine turns, attacking Frost and then Jacob. Frost hurls Sex Machine through an overhead window, letting the bats pour inside, before transforming into a vampire himself. Seth, Kate, and Scott escape into a storeroom, while Jacob covers their retreat with a makeshift cruciform shotgun. Inside, they fashion weapons from truck cargo taken from previous victims. Knowing he will soon turn, Jacob makes his children promise to kill him when the time comes. The survivors launch a final assault. Sex Machine mutates into a were-rat and attacks Seth, but Kate kills him. Jacob destroys Frost, then succumbs to the transformation himself. Scott manages to kill his father, but hesitates just long enough to be bitten. Vampires swarm Scott, and as he begs for death, Kate is forced to shoot him. As the remaining vampires close in, rays of morning sunlight pierce the walls, forcing them back. Carlos arrives with his bodyguards, blasting open the doors and flooding the bar with sunlight, destroying the last of the undead. Seth confronts Carlos for choosing such a meeting place and negotiates a reduced price for safe passage to El Rey. Before leaving, he gives Kate some money and offers a quiet apology. She asks to go with him, but Seth refuses, admitting that his life would only corrupt whatever innocence she still has left. Kate drives away in the motorhome as the truth beneath the Titty Twister is finally revealed. The bar sits atop a buried Aztec temple, surrounded by abandoned trucks from countless forgotten travelers. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see the latest videos first.